Good morning, good evening, and good night, everybody. My name is Sarah, and I am standing today. I decided I was kind of sick and tired of, constantly sinking in my chair. Like, if you watch my videos, you know I have a tendency to slowly shrink out of screen. I forgot the reason why I do that is because the tripod isn't tall enough. Yeah, you guys are, sitting on top of, 7 books at the moment. Real smart here, but you know what? I felt the need to stand today because today we're doing a video that I never do, and that is a TBR. For the record, my reading schedule is entirely whatever I decide to pick up and whatever my library decides to send to me at this time. I have no control of literally anything, so I don't tend to do these. But this time, it's October. And October is my favorite month of the year. It's Halloween, it's spoopy season, so I'm going to try my best to read all of my spoopy books. Will that happen? Probably not, but I'm going to try. So enough being said, let's just dive on in. So October, I will be continuing on with a token readathon. This month, I'll be reading Fellowship of the Rings, the first book in the Lord of the Rings series. Now, I'm hoping that this book is going to be slightly better than The Hobbit, so I went into The Hobbit with such high expectations because I loved the movie so much. And The Lord of the Rings, I don't have as nearly expectations because I don't have as strong attachment to the movies. So I'm hoping this will be better. It feels like a heavier book, and I know it's split into 3 other books, so you're supposed to read them as one, but I'm going to split them up into 3 months, so I'm going to do my best. And if I finish this, I will tell you what my thoughts are. And honestly, I feel like the need to finish it because it took me so long to read The Hobbit. I need to read Lord of the Rings just to I want to do it in a timely manner, and this will hopefully be the first book of the month. And if not, I will suffer because you know my feelings on that. Now, the next book I do not have to show you, and that is The Tower of Nero, Book 5 in the Trials of Apollo series. It's coming out this month, and I will scream when I get it, because it's the last book with the Camp Half-Blood characters in it. Rick Riordan is going to be he's going to be moving on to Irish mythology next, and he's not going to focus on Greek or Roman. The characters will show up. It is still set in the same universe, but this next set of books is an entirely new experience for everyone reading it. So this is my last chance to get a hold of these characters and truly love them. My problem is Trials of Apollo has not been my favorite Rick Riordan series. I've never gotten attached to the characters, which sucks because this is the only series I have owned and read while it's coming out. I feel like that might be affecting my opinion a little bit. So once I get a hold of Trials of Apollo, Book 5, Tower of Nero, which I'm attending a book tour for, so that should be super exciting. But I'm going to hopefully also try to reread the entire Trials of Apollo series. Yeah, so this one is definitely going to be a maybe. I have no clue if I'm actually going to get to it, but I'm going to at least try and reread Book 1. Again, my main issue is I never got attached to the characters, specifically Meg, which is our main side character to this. Meg is the one who follows around Apollo as he is forced to be mortal in this book. And I'm I never got attached to her, which I feel is stopping my enjoyment of the book. So if I reread her introduction, I might actually enjoy her. But that's just a hope. I want to reread this series anyways, but I don't know if I'm going to get to it this month. If nothing else, I'm reading Book 5 and Book 1 in that order. Whether or not that happens is an entirely different question. Another book I really hope to pick up this month is Hollow Kingdom. I've been meaning to read this book for about a year now. Honestly, I saw this when it came out back in 2019. I don't know if the copy I got this off of eBay. I don't know if this is an ARC or not because it has the on sale date on the spine, which you only ever see in ARCs. But it looks like a complete copy. It honestly does. So I don't know what I got my hands on, but I got my hands on it, and I really want to read it because this is a story of a zombie apocalypse told in the perspective of a pet crow. Obviously, this is going to be more of a satire book than anything else. I love satire books, and I want another spoopy satire, which, in my mind, is one of the best forms of satire. Can we just all take a moment to appreciate this cover? I love this shade of green. It really does give you a message of what this book is going to be about. The beautiful, dark purpley blue crow, and on the back there's an octopus. I'm super excited because, birds, an apocalypse, an octopus, however it fits into the story, I'm just excited. Talking about sea creatures, the next book I want to pick up, honestly, it's probably going to be pushed off to the end of the month, is going to be Malamander. So this is a book I just bought. I haven't hauled it yet. You're going to see that eventually in the future. This is a story. It's like a middle grade, almost spoopy adventure kind of I don't know how to describe this. So basically, this is a story about a girl realizing something is going on and it's a little weirder than she expected in this almost coastal town. There might be a monster in the lake, there might be a murder in the house. We don't actually know. And so I haven't looked too much into this because spoopy horror, I feel like it's best to go in a little bit blind, but this is also middle grade. If you guys haven't noticed, I'm trying to get more into spoopy horror, like thriller almost, but also kind of not. I'm starting with middle grade because I feel like that's the easiest way. Like, we're gonna work through the age systems, and hopefully eventually I will get to adult thriller, but also that might be too much for me. So we're going to stick with this for now. Okay, this is just the tiny summary on the back. I'm going to read it to you guys. Join Herbert Lemon, the lost and founder of the Grand Nautilus Hotel, as he figures out how all of these eerie oddities are connected and attempts to restore the hotel to its once magnificent, lost and rightful home. So yeah, there's that lost and found magical hotel, and also maybe spoopy horror. We will see. I'm gonna say less on the horror and more of adventure, but I'm excited. All the other books from here on out are entirely dependent on my library. They're all audiobooks. I have no idea when I'm getting them. Hopefully by the end of October, I will be able to read, first of all, The Bone House. This is a story about gravediggers as they try to keep the dead in the ground. Because apparently in this world, people don't like staying dead. So, you know, it kind of falls to the gravediggers to make sure they keep piling dirt on top of the bodies so no one gets out. I think I heard someone tell me that this is set in like Louisiana. I'm doubting that, but it sounds very interesting. It feels like I would love that kind of Louisiana Bayou vibe, but like crypts and bone houses, like that's probably why I have that connection. Bone house in my mind needs a crypt, but like I'm excited for potential zombies and gravediggers. I mean, like spoopy Halloween, I have to read it by now. Going back to middle grade, the next book I want to pick up is Small Spaces. This is an incredibly short middle grade thriller. It is essentially a story about these two kids who are on more or less a field trip and they realize something is following their bus. As you can tell, this is a spoopy Halloween story. It is around 200 pages, which is incredibly short. I am planning on finishing it in one day, so I'm just like, I can't wait. I cannot wait. Once again, like all spoopy horror thrillers, that is all I know about this. I'm not looking too much into it. It is, I believe, a new release. I saw it in the bookstore. I almost bought it, but then I realized, hey, my library has an audiobook. I'm getting the audiobook because, like, that's the best way to get spoopy content. October was also supposed to be the month I was going to read Tristan Strong Punches a Hole in the Sky. However, I got that in early, so I'm currently reading it. Instead, I am replacing it with another Rick Riordan Presents books, and that is The River of Tears. I am forgetting the first half of the name of this book. It is definitely a name. I am forgetting. River of Tears is basically a story set in a town where everyone is told to avoid the river because someone recently drowned there. However, our main character has been told to avoid the river for much longer than everyone else in the town because her mother believes it is cursed, it is haunted, and then slowly our main character realizes that, oh, the grandma might be right because there is definitely something calling her to the river. So, again, spoopy, horror, not quite horror, but definitely spoopy, and then it also deals with like different cultures and mythology I am not at all aware of because I'm very bad at that, but I'm just like, it sounds really cool, and I want it so bad. Also, it's called, like, River of Tears. October is, like, the month I have to read this. You can see a theme here. I feel the need to read spoopy in October, because the minute November comes around, it's gone. It's all Christmas. That's it. And finally, the last book I have planned to pick up is the Wondersmith Book 2 of the Nevermore series. So I recently read book 1 of this. It is all about a story of a cursed child being whisked away to a magical adventureland the night before she is doomed to die. And there she realizes that like, everyone there has a power and she has to realize her own. And then book 2 is kind of more focused on her discovering what exactly that means for herself and the villain and the antagonist. And like, it sounds so cool. I fell in love with book 1, you guys. Like, I rarely ever have a book stick in my head that well that I can actually remember the details, the characters. Like, I cannot stop thinking about this book, and I really want to pick up book 2, and so I'm hoping that my library sends it in during October because, like, Nevermore feels like an October book to me. Like, I can't imagine reading this when it's snowing outside. It has to be crisp fall October. This is my last chance to read it before it just feels out of place. Like, I will read it in November because, like, it's forever summer where I live, but I feel like in my soul it has to be October. So those are all the books I plan on reading next month. Will I get to all of them? Probably not, but I will definitely try my best because, like I said, it's spoopy season. See my whiteboard? Spoopy season. Thank you guys all so much for watching. If you want to push forward any of these books, I will try to read them as fast as I can as soon as my library gets them. But hey, give me your recommendations down in the comment section down below. While you're down there, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. And as always, good night, good evening, and good morning, everybody.